Hello, my name is Joseph Collins, and I'm here today with Dr. Thomas Freeman, interviewing him for the first time at Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas. My first question to you, Dr. Freeman, is where did you see yourself at my age, at 18?
How old did you say you were?
18.
At 18, I was completing my college degree at Virginia Union University, and I was planning to attend Andover Newton Theological Seminary. And I had also planned not to stop there, but to go all the way to the PhD degree at the University of Chicago.
Growing up, was there an adult in your life that influenced your worldview?
Yes, the secretary of the YMCA, Scott Barrow. He was the person who provided me with the opportunity for speaking at an early age. I started speaking at 9, and he was responsible for it.
What made you decide to get into debating?
What made me decide to get into debate? I didn't decide to get into debate. You want me to tell you the story
I
about
would
it?
love to hear the
I
story.
came to Texas Southern University for 9 months. I was under contract to return to Virginia, where I was pastoring. I taught a course in logic, and in that course assigned a debate. And the students in the logic class went to the then dean of students, Dr. Samuel Warren, and said, "We have found a debate coach." And Dr. Warren called me to his office and he said, "Tom, I understand that you want to coach debating here." I said, "Oh, no, I don't. I'm not going to be here but 9 months, and I can't coach in the debate team in 9 months." They kept on after me. Then I agreed that if the 4 students who were in the class would be on the team, then I would coach the team. And one of those 4 students became vice president of the university. He is retired now. The 3 are deceased. I said, "Now, if you 4 fellows will be on the team, I will coach the team for the length of time that I'm here, 3 months." I coached them and took them to the University of Chicago and Harvard, and they beat both schools. And when I got back, Dr. Lanier, the first president of the university, and Dr. Honorable cornered me and said, "Tom, you cannot leave. You have to go back and get released from the contract." I went back, was released from the contract, came back to Houston, and I've been here ever since. That's how I got into debating. I didn't choose it, it chose me. And I continued for 67 years. Does that answer your question?
It does. Fully. Thank you. What were some of the challenges that you faced by coming back to TSU?
I suspect that the first challenge that faced me was the opportunity to work with students to develop them so that they could compete with anybody. At that time, blacks did not participate in forensics in the South. And the challenge was to provide a quality team so that they would be able to participate on the same level as those who had been working for a number of years. So I worked with the students to develop their competencies and their skills. and took Barbara Jordan and Otis King to Baylor University. Barbara and Otis integrated forensics in the South. Barbara won first place in oratory, and Otis won first place in extemporaneous speaking, the first time that blacks had ever participated in forensics. And from then on, they moved from school to school. The situation was so bad that we organized a league, and a picture of it is in the other room that you can see, the Southern Intercollegiate Forensic Conference, which provided opportunities for blacks to participate in forensics. After this decision, it was no longer necessary, so the league was disorganized. It just faded away, and every school was participating in forensics in the South. The challenge of going up against a structure that had been dominated by one race, that challenge is what we faced. Now, during that time, we faced a lot of things, discrimination. In fact, I'll give you one instance. Everybody else could go to cafeterias and eat. We had to take food along with us so we could eat. And we were in the South, out of food, stopped at a restaurant. And I was told when I entered, we don't serve any blacks here. If you want to go around the back, you can go around and get something to eat. And what was I to do but to forget who I was, what I was, and humble myself and go to the back to get food for Barbara Jordan to eat, because she couldn't sit around the table to eat. And you see where Barbara Jordan finally arrived. She would never have been able to meet the resistances that she met had she not had those kinds of experiences, which were granted to her at the time that she was just a youngster. The opportunities that students have had as a result of participating on the debate team have been phenomenal. And to see them move forward has been very encouraging to their teacher, suggesting to him that his efforts were not wasted.
What is your hope for the future generation of black students?
My hope for the future generation of black students is that they will take advantage of all of the opportunities that are afforded them. Young people are living at a critical moment in our history with a lot of available resources, many of which are not taken advantage of by our young people. Every opportunity that you have to learn something should be taken advantage of. It is my hope that young people in this generation will stop playing and do work, understanding that you can play later, but now is the time to get equipped so you'll be able to occupy a position that will allow you to play later on. My hope for young people is that they become somebody so that their presence is felt wherever they are. My hope for young people is that they would reaffirm and undergird themselves with moral and spiritual values. Moral and spiritual values which will not allow them to fall into the pit of lying to get out of a situation. That they will have such a devotion to truth that they will hold everyone to that standard. It matters not what position they have. It is my hope that young people will redeem our generation from what has fallen into on the political scene. My hope for the generation is that I will be proud of them.
50 years ago, it was 1968. If you could go back to that year, what would you tell yourself?
If I were to go back to that year, I would do the same thing that I did because it would be repeating. It's impossible to take years and set it back against years and say what you could do, because if you're going through that, you're going to do what you did.
Dr. Freeman,
Yes.
what is one thing that we can learn from you that no one else can teach us?
I can't do that. I can't answer the question. I don't know what comes from me and gets to the other person. The other person would have to answer that question. I couldn't answer that question.
Thank you, Dr. Freeman, for taking the time out to speak with me.
Nice having to talk with you. Be glad to continue talking anytime you want to come to the office.